So I just thought I'd just come out for a drive, and I just thought I'd talk a little bit more about the past couple of months, what I've learned so far doing YouTube, and also my attitude towards the 1,000 subscribers. But first, quite recently, I've been kind of looking at a lot of YouTubers that are under 1,000, watching their videos, listening to their comments, and there's some, the community really is a good community if you want to join it. But what I've found is everyone's channel's different. I mean, I like getting out and about, and I know I'm sat in the car today, but I prefer to be doing something while I'm talking, either driving or walking or just doing something than sitting down. But there's a lot of YouTubers that they all have different ways of filming. They all have different angles on how they want to present the video. But I find that, especially the smaller YouTube channels, there is, I wouldn't say confusion, but there is a lot of information out there on, you have to do the thumbnail, the title has to be correct, the first 30 seconds has to be correct, and one of the biggest things that I've found is the editing. Now, when you start on YouTube, a lot of people that I've spoken to are trying to get the skills of editing and, making the video a little bit more exciting and doing things that, showing their skills off, of what footage they've taken, how they're bringing the footage together. And then recently, a lot of people are now talking of no editing involved. Now, I think looking at some of the channels I follow, a lot of them started off the same way. If you look at a lot of channels that, for example, maybe have 25, 30,000 views, subscribers, or even over the 100,000 mark, if you go back to their first videos, first videos are very basic and simple. There is a little bit of editing, but that was you going back maybe plus 3 years, up to 10 years. There's one channel I follow, and his footage and his videos are brilliant. But when you go back to his first video, he's basically just sat in a van telling you what spec the van has. It's a camper van, and he's going through on how the battery runs, what it runs in the van, his solar power, the setup of his kitchen, the bed, and things. It's a very, very basic video, and if you look at it now, you can see the skills that he's learned. But it's all about putting it together. But the one thing that, I'm guilty of it myself, was starting YouTube, finding the niche, finding what you want to present, finding your audience, and then trying to build that momentum up for subscribers, which is great because, as you know, after 1,000 subscribers, you and the 4,000 watch hours, you get monetized. But what a lot of people are speaking about, and as I say, I'm guilty myself, is focusing more on the subscribers than actually doing the content. And one of my videos a couple of months ago, back in July, I got 5,000 views, and I felt great. It was the first video that kind of got over 100 subscribers, and to me, it was brilliant. But then the next video was back down to 200, 300 views. I think I picked up 3 or 4 subscribers. There's been situations where I've lost subscribers. But the one thing, and this is probably a strength of mine when I'm doing YouTube, is going back when I was doing the drama years ago, is not to take it personally. Just keep going, keep your momentum going. I was on stage years ago, and I was doing a play called Equus, and I was actually the young horseman and Nugget. And we'd done a couple of shows just to iron out any problems or change any of the direction. And I remember one particular night, some of the audience who knew cast members and had been involved in that group jumped up on stage, and one woman she thought I was brilliant. She said, "What a great performance, you did really well, very strong, good voice, ticked all the boxes," and I felt brilliant. I absolutely felt brilliant, and within 2 minutes she'd gone behind the curtains and obviously bumped into other people who were more into the background of the show, and basically ripped me to bits. And I had a huge come down. I thought 1 minute I was on a high, and the next thing I'm dragging myself off the stage, and it hurt me a little bit. But you've got to kind of, doing this, you've got to putting yourself out there, you've got to kind of build a thick skin, and you do have ups and downs. You do question your videos, think, "Oh, that was a really good video, I want to put it out there," and it doesn't do any good at all. There's one video I put up, didn't really get any attention, and then during midweek it was getting all sorts of views, which did really well for my style of video and for my level of video. But you've just got to keep in mind, do your best, try and learn a little bit more each time, and if things don't go the way you planned, just sit back, look at it and think, okay, it mightn't have been anything that you've done wrong, it mightn't have just hit the audience that you wanted, but just keep going and try not to get emotionally controlled by it, if that's the word, because you will have good days and bad days. But saying that, the YouTube community is really, there's some of the comments I've got of encouragement are very good. And the funny thing is, there was a YouTuber that mentioned a comment about talking to other people, friends and family, about doing YouTube, and they weren't really interested. Now, I can't really, I mean, my family have been very supportive for me doing this. And if you're watching, my niece, Amy Ann, she has been the #1 supporter since the day I first posted. So, thank you very much, Amy. But you've got to, what I've noticed is, you hear a lot of people talking about, "I saw this on YouTube, I saw that on YouTube," but if you actually mention, "Oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel," or "I'm doing YouTube," the conversation just dries out. But that's kind of balanced with the people who are actually doing it. And this is kind of like an open invitation to other small channels that are looking to grow, are looking to develop. If you are wanting to collaborate or communicate or get in contact, here's an open invitation. I was actually looking at doing something along the lines of a podcast for small YouTubers, just to try and get, a kind of like a group together of people who are in the same situation as me. At the time of recording this, I left the house at 192 subscribers, I'm on 194. Now I could go home and there's 191, that's just the way it is. But with the regards to 1,000 subscribers, the best advice I've been given so far is just do your videos, just try and improve. Obviously, it's always in the video that you're going to ask people to subscribe, because you want to build that. You want to build your channel up, and it's one of the ways to do that. But also, it's just focus on. I mean, your niche isn't to find 1,000 subscribers. Your niche is your individual presentation, your individual uniqueness. So what I've kind of come to realise is just kind of focus on what I'm doing, the audience I'm trying to target, which is the over 40s who are starting out in life again, and just practice at getting good. And everyone has a different speed, and everyone's progression is different because of the nature of the videos. So the best thing is just focus on what you're doing, try to get good, and accept constructive criticism, because I've got 2 people now who I regularly communicate with, who will watch the video and critique it in a constructive manner, and it helps you. You see things, people see things that you don't see, so it is a really good way of improving. But as I say, the race to get the 1,000 subscribers, just focus on your, how you're going to present your video. There's no rush. I think I said in one of my videos I'd love to get 1,000 subscribers before Christmas. But then when you come to start doing videos, obviously there's other aspects of your life that, if you've got a 9-to-5 job, you've got to put that first. In your spare time, this is where the YouTube comes out. And the other thing that I would say that I've learned really is the discipline of putting a video together. One YouTuber said he takes 15 hours to put a video together because he was doing the editing and putting the effects in there to let people know of what skills he's got. But it can take you some time putting a video together. And I think, again, another lesson I've learned is just keep it simple. When you start out, just keep it simple. Limit the editing if you need to. I know I've done a lot of videos where I started off kind of in the summer, the Irish summer, if you want to call it that. When I was out and about, I was walking, I was on my bike. I do a lot where I'm in the car because I love driving. Of a weekend, I love just getting out somewhere. I was actually going to go for a walk today, and the heavens opened, but there's certain things you can't plan for. But all as I do really is, when it comes to the weekend, I think, right, what time have I got? Where can I go? What do I want to talk about? And take the camera gear out. I was not really sitting down planning a video, or I want to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm kind of just thinking of what time I've got, what I want to speak about, and also what I've noticed on YouTube with other small channels, because we're all asking the same question. We all want to grow the channel, but again, like I've mentioned in another video, it's like learning to walk. Everyone does. Everyone's going to succeed at different stages and different times, but not to get hung up about it, because there is people there you can talk to get ideas and think, where am I going wrong? There's loads of gurus on YouTube that will tell you the opposite of what another guru says. So it's best to just try. There's no rush. No one says you've got to get monetized in 3 months, or you've got to have 500 subscribers in 6 weeks, or you've got to have so many subscribers per video. There's no hard and fast rule. It's just doing the videos and getting them out there. So that's what I find. Put the subscribers kind of to the back of your mind. You obviously want the subscribers. You're grateful for anyone who clicks that button, but at the same time, you want to give the best content to your audience, and you also want to build your audience up. Now, looking at kind of the channels I follow, a lot of people, when they're talking about how they started, their niche kind of found them, more so than them going out looking for a niche. So that's a point to consider as well when you're doing YouTube, is sometimes you might think you're targeting a certain audience, but another audience is watching you, and that's kind of where I think people have kind of gone viral, because they're thinking, right, that's what I'm doing, that's who I'm targeting. But then another group comes in who are just fascinated by your videos. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. There's not really, other than just, I know we've spoken in the past about the fear of it and about putting yourself out there, but once you've done 1 or 2 videos, and once you start getting used to talking to the camera, you start to relax. When I started, I kind of wanted to say everything within the first 3 minutes, and it sounded terrible, but that's where you can kind of sit back and think to yourself, like, what is it I want to say? Where do I want to go? What do I want to show? And then just go for it, you know. But it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do, to watch other channels and go right back to their first video and see how they spoke, and look at their videos, look at the quality of the content, and then look at what they're doing now. The videos I kind of watch on a regular basis are the overlanding videos, living the van life, our van tales, Ex-Overland, which is a brilliant documentary. The ones I'm watching at the moment, they're actually putting up that they're in South Africa, and they're amazing. But go back to where they started. I mean, their videos have great audiences, but they've had to build up to that, and it's always good to look back every 6 months and think, right, what have I done differently in the last 6 months? What have I improved on? And just keep going. But it's a journey. So once you take the first step, you've just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. And if you get to a certain point and you think, right, I'm going to give up. If you get it, that's actually quite important. If you get to a situation and you think, right, I'm going to give up, that's the best time to step back and think, right, take a week, 2 weeks, take a little bit of time for yourself and think, right, I'll go again. The other thing that I've noticed is people saying, right, I was trying to hit this audience, so I'll change audience, and that's a lot of things that a lot of time is what YouTubers have done. They feel something's not working, and I think that comes down to your passion. Do what you love doing. Now, my videos in the next 6 weeks are going to slowly start to change, because I've got more opportunities to show what I've done in the last 6 months in my personal development. Because I say 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been sitting in a car filming a video like this. I basically come back to nothing. So it's going to be a nice video to show what's developed in my life in the last 6 months, and what is going to be going on in the next 6 months. And that's kind of where I'm going to go. But as I say, it's a journey. You've got to take the first step, and like my little banner says at the top, the road less travelled. Sometimes you've just got to take a path that might not be the easiest one, might not be the best one, but sometimes the roughest path kind of just makes you a little bit stronger and a little bit more disciplined, because you know, if you can do the harder path, when things start to iron out, that's where your character shows, you know. That's where your resilience comes in. And I think sometimes the best thing of not knowing how things are going to work out, or not knowing what's next, what obstacle comes next, just makes it all the better. So I hope this video's helped. And as I say, 1,000 subscribers, yeah, be great. But I've got to concentrate on the content first and get good and get a lot better and just keep improving. And hopefully the subscribers will follow. So if you've enjoyed the video, thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next one.